Meat consumption in the Western world today is not sustainable. It leads to increased greenhouse gas emissions and more pollution. However, each and every one of us has an individual responsibility to make small changes in our lives to help preserve the planet we live on and its environment. But what is really the problem with meat and our consumption of it, and what can we do about it? A lot of people don't know the impact their meat consumption has on the world. Maybe you didn't know that meat production and agriculture are responsible for 18% of the CO2 emissions, 37% of methane emissions, and 65% of nitrous oxide emissions. That is a lot. These emissions contribute to the greenhouse effect, and the reasons to these emissions are many. For example, the deforestation of the rainforest, where instead of letting trees grow, they are chopped down to grow food for the animals we raise to kill. In a study made by the journal Environmental Research Letters, it's estimated that the global calorie availability will increase by 70% if we stop using crops for animal feed, meaning that we would be a lot closer to ending world hunger if we started feeding humans with this food rather than animals. To get a view from a professional on this matter, we got a meeting with environmental philosopher Svein Anders Nordlie from the University of Tromsø. Do you have any thoughts about the level of meat consumption today?
Since you know that the meat production is contributing much more to CO2 emissions and so on, we should reconsider our meat consumption. If you have an average dinner, about 90% of the CO2 emissions from that dinner is from the meat. So if everyone were vegetarians, then we would have we could cut the emissions about the same level as if we didn't have any transport.
As Svein Anders said, Norwegians eat a lot of meat, especially compared to other countries. In Norway, we eat 75 kilograms per person annually, while the world average is on 36 kilograms. During the research phase of this project, we discovered that most of the people in our group ate like an average Norwegian. One thing a lot of people do to spare the environment is to take shorter showers. Instead, you can simply eat less meat, considering the fact that for 450 grams of beef, it is used so much water that instead you can take a shower for 10 minutes every day for 2 months. But sustainability does not only concern the environment, but also the economy and the society. A sustainable development is defined as a development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. A local meat industry provides a lot of jobs and is therefore sustainable to the economy and the society. So eating more local meat instead of imported meat would be more sustainable. Maybe not very much for the environment, but at least for the economy and society.
Protein!
But do we really need protein from animals to build muscles?
No, not really. You can build muscles from other protein sources.
A lot of people believe that if you switch to a plant-based diet, you will miss out on all of your favorite meals. If you start looking into it, there are actually a lot of different alternatives to meat. Foods such as beans, lentils, and chickpeas are high in protein and great substitutions for meat. To help the environment, you don't even have to go vegan, but you could simply eat less meat. It would make a greater impact on the world than you think. For each day you eat a vegan diet, you save around 4,200 liters of water, 20 kilograms of grains, 9 kilograms of CO2, and 2.7 square meters of forested land and one animal life.
Everyone should be much more informed about this issue. They should know that they have an impact. Everyone have a responsibility to know these things, because we live in a modern world, and to live in this modern world you need a lot of knowledge. You cannot go around as a zombie.
Each and every one of us can make a difference, even if we only take small steps. We have an individual responsibility to do what we can do. Will you make a change?